Well, very good afternoon to you. It's the 18th of November and it's pretty miserable in Scotland out there. What I've done is I've put 14 ounces of oatmeal alongside a couple ounces of self-raising flour. I've also popped in a little half teaspoonful of baking soda. I'm making oatcakes, you see. I've also got some lard. You can use lard or dripping. I'm just giving this a bit of a sugar around, as you can probably see. That's all the ingredients that you need, apart from a couple of tablespoonfuls of sugar and a little bit of salt. Don't really need an awful lot of salt, to be honest. People use too much salt. I've got my little thing here for cutting because I will be rolling out. In fact, here's my rolling pin, Annie. So you need the rolling pin, one of my useful tools, and that's about all I need to do at this stage, apart from add a little bit boiling water to get the fat melting, and also to start mixing the dry ingredients. So what I'll do, you've got the ingredients, I'll come back when I've got this rolled out and ready to cut into little oatcake sized biscuit shapes. I'll also put it onto the in the baking tray, which has got parchment paper on top, and that helps it from sticking to the base. Well, otherwise it just falls straight through, wouldn't it? But some greaseproof paper, and that's it for now. So I decided to show you that's the mixture. Once the lard's melted down, you've got the oatmeal and the flour all combined. Then add some more boiling water, and then we'll get it on to the top here, and we'll start rolling that out into a small amount and widthwise, and then we'll cut them into oatcakes, as I'll show you shortly. So you can appreciate I can't do two things at once here with the camera and roll, but what we'll do with this is we'll lump that around and keeping in the floured area, and then we'll roll that out. Try and keep the mess to a minimum. Always clean as you go along. That's the golden rule. Never ever wait till the end till you start clearing everything. You just go and do it along. So what I'll be doing is I'll get the rolling pin floured up, roll that and then use my cutter into the flour and press down, and then we'll transfer with a flat knife onto these. So I'll show you before we cut, but for now I'm going to do some rolling of my mixture. Okay, so a couple of minutes later, and we've got that organised, and we just take the cutter and we proceed to go round cutting our oatcake sized biscuits, and just continue to do this. And then of course with the bits in between, we don't waste that. We re-roll, trying to do this really as quickly as possible, so that you're got the things ready for the oven without wasting any fuel. The cooker's, the oven's already on, so we shall not hang around here any. So that's the idea. I'll come back with the finished product and we'll transfer these onto the baking tray. This is a very swift thing to do. I used to spend, well, let's talk about that later, Annie, not just now. Can you see in this light? I can't see myself. So that's the first lot, obviously, from the main bulk, and then this is the the bits in between. So we've rolled that, and again we'll get further circles for our oat cakes, these biscuit shapes. You get the general idea, don't you? So there's no waste, and as I say, you keep the area of your work to an absolute minimum, so there's no mess all over the shop. So we'll get that transferred, and then we'll come back and have a chat. So that's us, no waste at all. We've got these all arranged out in perfect fashion. These two are sort of just the final little bits, which will go perfectly well for the person who's made them. We'll get these straight into the oven and we'll put them in for about 45 minutes to 50 minutes. Okay, so we just get this all cleared up, and I'll just take a moment to sort that and get it properly scrubbed down, and that's all you need to do. 14 ounces of oatmeal, 2 ounces of self-raising flour I used, a tiny little bit of baking soda just to help it rise, sugar, a couple of tablespoonfuls, a little bit salt, 3 ounces of lard or dripping, and boiling water to mix it. Put it into a dough. Make sure the dry ingredients are all mixed up first of all before you add the water, of course. Then put it on, roll it out, and cut as necessary. I used to make about 4 batches, like a day like today when it's miserable outside. I used to do about 4 batches all together, and store all these oatmeal biscuits away for use when I'm on the hills, or just a quick snack. And can't go wrong with that. And but I just do a little. Well, you probably ask yourself, why is he showing us all these baking things in the last couple of days? Well, the truth of the matter is, never waste anything. So, for example, if I've got flour, I've got oatmeal, and although they all have a use by date, a sell by date, or best before date, I tend not to bother too much about it, because in essence they're only there for the manufacturers to keep them right. But try to use them in the as near as possible within the dates that they recommend. But it's not crucial. It's not the end of the world if you eat something like oatmeal or even flour or whatnot. Sugar can last forever, but that type of stuff can last a couple of years, well past the best before date. It obviously loses a little bit of its nutritious value, but you've got to store it correctly. But my point is, what I'm trying to say is, get these all things done so that I don't have a whole stack of things all backing up, and I'll replace the flours and all the rest of it probably just after. Probably wait until New Year, because the flour prices will probably go up because of the disastrous crop failures around the globe due to the wet weather we've had this autumn across the northern hemisphere. But that said, and also the prices always go up before Christmas anyway, so I tend to buy these kind of things in the summer when nobody's really doing much home baking, and that's generally my rule of thumb. Keep a larder full of things for a wet day so you can make something instantly. Am I rambling on? Probably. I usually do. But I'll bring out the finished product and let you see the baked oat cakes when they're ready. Alright? Hello again. Sorry about the quality of the light. But that's these biscuits done. They've been in for 45 minutes, 50 minutes. That was one of the, what do you call it, additional ones. You can see perfectly cooked. That's a perfect oat cake. I do have the exact round ones, you see. So that's the round one. What I'll do actually, Andy, put that there, Andy. We'll eat that. Absolutely delicious with a decent cheese, or a smidgen of butter, or even jam, or honey, or just on its own actually. But that's so what we'll do, we'll just set them up because they need to cool a little bit, before I put them away in this container. Make sure everything's clean. I'm very conscious. Well, it's not so much conscious. I'm rather obsessive when it comes to hygiene. Not just personal hygiene, but hygiene about everything. And it is important. And I learn a lot from. I took home economics, food nutrition at school as an O grade, and I passed. And I've always been interested in cooking and stuff, watching my grandmother and my mum. So I learned a lot, and it comes in useful for simple things like this. But that said, I did work as a chef between jobs, and I quite enjoyed my time as a chef. Although chefing is pretty laborious stuff. It's all preparation, and that's all it is preparation for everything. You've got to follow the menu. And during the service, I've worked in different levels as a chef, so I've worked in the very hectic service, but it's like coach people come in for their meal in hotels, and they all want fed at once. I've worked in fairly, Michelin star restaurants where not 5-star or Michelin stars. I'm not at that level, I have to say. But what I mean is I've worked in 1-star Michelin, which counts, doesn't it? And I didn't really like that. I didn't like a great big bloody plate and serving somebody a little morsel about that. I just thought it wasn't good, and charged them bloody £80. But I've worked in like just normal restaurant stuff where people come in and it is hectic. And I maybe said before that when you're in service, you can easily fall out with your work colleagues very quickly. The atmosphere gets very tense, very heated. Not just the kitchen temperatures, when you bloody lose pounds every single day with the sweat that you elude as part of the job, and burnt hands and sometimes cut hands and stuff like that. But I have to say, cut hands was a rarity because you couldn't operate service with bandages and stuff on your hand, not really. But burns and scalds were commonplace. It's just the way it is. But I found that chefing was a very antisocial kind of job. It was you were always there. The weekends, you never got a weekend off. You couldn't possibly expect to get weekends off. It was the busiest period, and so therefore you always ended up getting a Monday or a Tuesday off. And of course, there's no one else around when you went for a drink or something. And you end up just sitting guzzling pints on your own, talking to some other alcoholic or something. And but anyway, don't pile too high, Annie. They've got to cool off. We'll put a couple in here, will you? And these biscuits are, these oatcakes are absolutely perfect. I have to tell you that. And what was I talking about, Annie? I can't remember. I've forgotten already. Yeah, so basically they're working away, and it's a strange thing, but most chefs will tell you this, but most chefs will hardly ever sit down and have a meal in their own kitchen with their own food. It's bizarre, but it's true. They tend to just snack away all day on little things, but they don't sit down and have a meal. But yeah, so I was mentioning about the frothness of your work colleagues and everybody shouting over each other and well, there's always discipline and order, but I'm not joking. Service time is really hectic, and once that had all been sent out and all the customers were happy, and the head chef is, got his accolade for great meals from all the customers and stuff, then all calmed down, and we all met up in the bar afterwards and had a jolly, and done it all again the next day and the next day and the next day forevermore. But I enjoyed it, and it's something I could, well, I wouldn't go back to it now, but it's becoming useful for life. But as I say, I've been interested in cooking and baking all my life, and I do enjoy it. And but I much prefer concentrating on my herbal stuff now than I do cooking. I mean, this'll do me for a few. Take these on to the mountains. A couple of these for a snack. It's nice. These ones I'll eat after my tea. I probably eat that crumb before tea. Yes, I think in fact I think I might eat it now. I'm going to tell you, it's absolutely perfect. It really is perfect. Sweetness, crumbliness, and the texture is just beautiful. You've done a good job, Andy, as usual. So I'm glad you've enjoyed this little segment, or at least I hope you have. And that one was one of the extra bits as well, so that can stay there. The rest of them, as I say, will go into the container once they've cooled down and be locked away for use at a later time. So thank you, and bye bye for now.